I built this full stack app using Google's newest code editor, Antigravity, with their newest model, Gemini 3. And to store all the data of my app, I used Google's own backend platform, Firebase. And I did all that within Antigravity's interface in just a few minutes. And in this video, I will show you how to do exactly the same, even if you're a complete beginner and you have no idea how to code. So you can start building the projects that you have always wanted without having to sit there troubleshooting for hours and banging your head in the wall because you get stuck on simple errors for hours. So if that sounds interesting, let's dive right into it. Now the first thing that you have to do is to download Antigravity into your PC. And once you have done that and you open it up, you will see this interface. Now I know this might seem intimidating, but don't worry because we're going to go over it step by step. The first thing you have to do is to simply come over here and click on Open Folder. And now what you have to do is select a folder in which all the code that you generate with Antigravity is going to be saved to. Now if you don't have a folder, you can simply come over here, create a brand new one, which we're going to call Project 1 for example. So now if I select this folder, all the code that I'm going to write for this project is going to be saved inside it. I just simply have to come over here and select yes, I trust the authors. And now that we did that, we can finally start using Antigravity. Now how you actually use Antigravity is by coming over here and typing whatever you want to create in this prompt box over here. So for this example, I will come over here and type, I want to build a notes app where the user will be able to take his notes and add tasks while he will be able to categorize them based on their importance level. So we're basically going to create a notes/productivity app. And underneath that, we have two options. First, we have the conversation mode, which we can either select planning or fast. If we select planning, the agent is going to go and plan before executing the tasks. And if we select fast, the agent will execute the task immediately. Now to build the best app possible, I would strongly advise you to use the planning mode. And then for the model, I'm actually going to come over here and select Gemini 3 Pro. And now all I have to do is simply come over here and click on enter. And now as you can see, Antigravity using the Gemini 3 Pro model has started planning on exactly how it is going to go and create that app for us. And boom, as you can see, it created this roadmap that we can see over here in the tasks tab, where it basically tells us all the steps that it's going to go and follow. And all we have to do is to basically wait so Gemini 3 goes and implements all of the steps for us. And as you can see, Gemini is currently implementing all of these changes and it is writing the code, which we can actually take a look at if we want from all these different tabs. Now you don't actually need to understand what all of this means since Gemini understands that for us. But if you are a technical person and you want to review the code, you most likely can from inside all these code tabs. And boom, Antigravity just finished making all the changes. So now all I have to do is to simply come over here and accept all of them. Obviously, if you want, you can first review the code and then go ahead and accept them. And now to see my app, all I have to do is to come over here and ask it, hey, how can I see my app through the terminal? And then simply come over here and click on enter. And now it is telling me to run this command, so I'll simply click on accept. And now as you can see, it gives us written instructions on exactly how we can take a look at the app, which is by going over to the folder that we saved this project and double clicking on the index.html file. So to do that, I will open up my file explorer and I will find my project 1 folder, which is over here, and I will open up the index.html folder that we have inside it, which is going to open up the app that we just created with Antigravity in a tab in our browser. And as you can see, we can come over here and actually use it. Let's say we want to add a note. Let's say I want to say create a video. And let's say I need to create a video tomorrow, and then I can come over here and save the note. And as you can see, my note will be saved over here. And I can do the same thing with a new task, which I can choose its importance. I can either select medium, high, or low. Let's say it is high importance, and let's say thumbnail design for the new video. And then I can come over here and click on add task. And as you can see, this gets added in my tasks over here, where if I actually complete this, I can actually come over here and click on it and it's going to be shown that it is complete. Now we can obviously sit here and improve the app even further by adding in some analytics potentially for the tasks that we complete. So we can see what percentage did we complete and what percentage did we not manage to do, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I will simply come back over to Antigravity, and I will come down here and say, hey, I want to add an analytics section in which I will be able to see how many tasks and what percentage of tasks I managed to complete successfully for that day and what percentage I actually did not manage to complete for the same day as well. And I also want to be able to sort this from multiple time frames. So I should have day, I should have week, I should have month, and I should have year. And now that I typed this prompt, all I have to do is simply come over here, send this over, and Gemini 3 Pro is going to go and make all the changes in the code of our app. So this brand new function is created. And all we have to do now is to simply sit back and wait till it is done. And as you can see, it tells us that it drafted a plan for the logic of this app. So if we actually click on open, which we can see over here, and if you want, you can go over it and see if it is actually good to go. I took a good look at it and it looks pretty good. So I will simply come over here and say, it looks good, go ahead and make all of its changes. And I will click on enter. So now Gemini actually goes and makes the changes for us. And as you can see, it just made some changes and it's asking us to accept them. So I will simply click on accept and boom, Antigravity just finished making the changes. And if I actually go back over in my file explorer and I open up the index, and now we can take a look at the app, and as you can see, it has these two brand new analytics sections where we can source through day, week, month, and year exactly as we prompted. And once we have added some actual tasks and we complete them, we will be able to see the stats being displayed over here. But that's not the main part that I want to show you in this video. The main thing that I want to show you is how you can build a fully functioning backend for this app with just a few simple clicks. And how you're able to do that is by coming back over to Antigravity and then navigating over here to the top and clicking on these three dots on the top right corner. And then you need to come over here and select MCP servers. And as you can see, we have access to a bunch of different MCP servers, but the MCP server that we want to use is called Firebase, which is basically Google's backend and deployment service, which we can connect to with just a few simple clicks. So all you have to do is to simply come over here and click on install, and as you can see, this is going to start the installation of Firebase into our project. And boom, I just had to wait a little bit and the MCP server was successfully installed. Now I do want to point this out, in order for the MCP server to be able to work, you need to download Node.js and GitHub in your PC if you don't already have them installed. And once you do install these, then you will successfully be able to download and install the Firebase MCP server. So now that we have installed this MCP server, all we have to do is to simply come back over here in our chat and say something like, hey, now I want you to go and create a fully functioning backend for the app that we just created with user authentication, so the user can go and create an account with his email and password, or he can also log in with Google. And all of this information is going to safely be stored in Firebase. So make sure you go and use the Firebase MCP that you have access to and set up this backend for me. And now after we type this prompt, I will simply come over here and click on enter. And as you can see, Gemini is going to start thinking and it's going to come up with a plan of exactly how we can execute this step. And as you can see, it is currently looking if it has access to the MCP tool, which it does. And as you can see, it is telling us that in order to set up Firebase, it needs us to first log in into Firebase. So simply come over here and click on Firebase login and click on open. Then over here we simply need to log in to Firebase with one of our emails. I'm going to select this one, and then I will come over here and click on allow. Then I will simply come over here and say yes around this command, and it gives us this code over here. And now I will simply come over here and click on yes, this is my session ID, and it gives us this code, which all we have to do is to simply come over here and copy. And then we need to come back to Antigravity, simply paste in the code that we just copied, say something like, this is the code that Firebase gave me. And then simply come over here and click on enter. And right now it is telling us that we already have an existing project, since I have created a project in Firebase in that account, but it is telling us that ideally we would create a brand new one, and it is basically giving us a roadmap of exactly what it is going to do. So I will simply come over here and say, sure, that looks good, go ahead and make all these changes. And then I will simply come over here and click on enter. And as you can see right now, it is initializing the brand new Firebase project. And as you can see right now, it is going and making all of its changes. And right now it is on the implement Firebase auth email/Google. And boom, as you can see, it just finished. And it says that it has fully integrated the Firebase backend. It created the authentication. It also created the cloud storage and real-time sync with the app that we have built over in Antigravity. So now all we have to do is to simply come over here and accept all of its changes. And to test if this actually works, I will come back over here in my file explorer and I will open up the app. And boom, as you can see, the first thing that I see is a section where I can log in or sign up either with email and password or by continuing with Google. So let me actually come over here and sign up for an account using my email and a password over here, since we cannot actually continue with Google because we haven't deployed this app yet. And if you haven't deployed an app, the Google sign-in does not work. So if you tried it and it doesn't work, don't start getting worried. It's simply because you haven't deployed it yet. But if I actually come over here and click on sign up, you can see that it gives me this error, which basically says auth/configuration not found. And that is because new Firebase projects don't automatically have those enabled. So we need to go and manually enable them ourselves. Now don't worry, this is actually super simple to do. What I first did was copy that error and paste it over to Antigravity, and it basically told me exactly that. And then it gave me the exact steps that I need to follow. And the first thing that I need to do is to come over here and click on this link. And then this opens up the Firebase console. Now what we have to do is to simply come over here and click on get started. And then we simply need to come over here and select the sign-in methods that we want to add in our project. For this example, I will select email and password, and I will simply come over here and enable this, and I will click on save. And then I will also come over here and click on add new provider, and I will also select Google, and I will make sure I enable this, come over here and add in a support email, which is going to be my email address, and then I will come over here and click on save. And boom, that was literally it, guys. Now we do have both of these two sign-in methods up and ready to go, which means that if we come back over in our app and we click on the sign up button, you will see that we successfully managed to sign up with our brand new account. And if I go back over into our Firebase console and I switch over to the users tab, I can see the exact account that I just created, literally just now, with the unique email address when the account was created, when I signed in, and also the unique user ID of this account, which means that we successfully managed to create a fully functioning backend just by typing a simple prompt and by adding in the sign-in methods with literally a few clicks, which is super impressive. Now you might think that the deployment process is going to be very complex, but it is actually super simple since we can deploy apps using, again, the Firebase MCP. So all we have to do to deploy it is simply come over here and tell it, hey, make sure you go ahead and you deploy this app using the Firebase MCP tool and host it on Firebase hosting. And now we can simply come over here and click on enter. So now Gemini is going to go and create a plan of exactly how we can go ahead and do that. And boom, it just gave us the plan over here. Basically tells us that it's going to go ahead and deploy it using Firebase hosting. So I will say, sure, go ahead and implement this plan. And then I will come over here and click on enter. And as you can see, Gemini has started deploying our app for us. So all we have to do is to sit back, wait till it is done. And boom, as you can see, Antigravity just finished making all the changes. So now all we have to do is to simply come over here and click on accept all. And all we have to do is to wait till the third step over here is done, which is adding the hosting configuration to Firebase.json. So I will simply sit back and wait a little bit till that step is done as well. And boom, as you can see, successfully finished deploying the app. And now you can finally access it from a live link URL, as you can see over here. But now as a bonus, I want to show you one more thing, and that is how we can integrate Stripe payments inside our app. So every time somebody signs up to it, they first have to pay a monthly fee and then they're able to use our app. So to do that, you have to go over to stripe.com and sign up for a completely free account. And once you do that, you will be brought over in this interface. Now, all you have to do is to simply come down here to the bottom left of the page to where it says developers and simply click on there and then navigate over here in the API keys section. And then you will be brought over in this interface. Now, all you have to do is to simply come over here and click on create secret key and then come over here and click on building your own integration and then come over here and click on create secret key. Now you will simply be asked to verify that you are the correct person, as I'm going to do by inputting my PIN, and then I simply need to give a name to my API key, which I will call app for this example, and then I will come over here and click on create. And boom, this is our brand new API key. So all we have to do is to simply click on top of it in order for us to copy it in a clipboard. And then we need to come back over to Antigravity and say something like, hey, I want to integrate Stripe payments inside my app. Specifically, every time somebody signs up for a new account, they first have to pay a monthly fee of $15 and then they should be able to use the app. So what I want you to do is to take the Stripe API key that I'm going to give you and go and create a product that is worth $15 that everyone has to pay. And then I will say something like, this is the API key, and then I will simply come over here and paste in my Stripe API key, and I will come over here and click on enter. So now Antigravity has everything that it needs to go and implement Stripe payments into our app. And boom, as you can see, it just created a plan where it says it's going to integrate Stripe into the backend and also how it is going to integrate Stripe in the front end. And this plan does look very good. So I will simply come over here and say, sure, go ahead and move on with this plan. And now I will simply come over here and click on enter. So now Gemini 3 actually goes and makes all the changes for us. And right now it is requesting access to run this command. So I will simply give it access to that. And boom, as you can see, the Stripe integration has been successfully created, both in the front end and also in the back end. So all I have to do is to simply come over here and accept all the changes. So if I come over here and I sign up for a completely brand new account this time, let's say I input my email address over here and I input the password and I come over here and click on sign up, this Stripe payment page pops up where I first need to come over here, pay this monthly fee, and then I will be able to access the app, which is exactly what we wanted. Now, building apps like this with Antigravity and Firebase is one thing, but getting actual users to them so you can start monetizing and start making real money is completely another. But don't worry, because that is exactly what I show you how to do inside my school community, which you can find the link for in the description below. And specifically, I have a full AI SaaS roadmap course in which I show you step by step how you can build your own AI SaaS and then how to market it in order for you to get paying users and start making real money. Plus, you will also get access to my Build a $1 million SaaS series in which I document the process of me building my own AI SaaS and trying to scale it to $1 million. So if you want access to these two courses, along with all the other content that I have inside the community, plus access to a community of 140 members that are interested in AI and most importantly, making money with it, just like you are right now, make sure you click the top link in the description and you come and check out my school community. And I'm currently running a December offer in which every person that joins gets a personal one-to-one call with me. So make sure you don't miss out on this offer and you come and join the AI SaaS Builders community. And I will be waiting to help you inside. But also YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy this video, in which I built a very complex app using Antigravity and NA10. So make sure you go and watch that next. And I will see you over there.